Annyeong, I'm Quick Lee. If you don't know who I am or what I do, I'm not sure how you found this video, but I'm glad you're here. On this channel, I have fun with songs that get stuck in my head, and I cover them on the ukulele. If that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and subscribe so you can follow my shenanigans. I don't have a reliable schedule, so expect videos whenever. Also, if you are interested in joining a Discord ukulele community, some friends and I created the Grand Ukulele Station. The link is in the description of this video. For every day of the past month, the month of August 2023, I played a track or two from Taylor Swift's Folklore and Evermore, two sister albums she released during the COVID pandemic. I have a few reasons for taking on this self-imposed challenge. Here they are. 1. For CDR, who are all Taylor Swift fans. I'm the odd one out. 2. To step out of my comfort zone, genre-wise. 3. To work on my musical abilities, especially pitch recognition and music theory. And 4. For the sapphics, but that applies to everything I do. Here are the rules that I tried to stick to. 1. Listen to the song less than 3 times on the recording day. 2. Record the song in less than 3 takes. 3. Write all the music sheets from scratch. Try to avoid using outside sources. 4. Edit the video to usual channel standards. 5. Upload the video before midnight on the assigned day. I was more successful with some of these rules than others, but I'm happy with the results regardless. Here are my takeaways from this experience. 1. Taylor Swift is overrated. 2. Taylor Swift really loves a suspended chord. And 3. I really don't like how her music sounds, but I like her lyrics. Now, before all the Taylor stans attack me in the comments without using an ounce of critical thinking, allow me to explain. In the fanfiction realm, there is a cake metaphor. It's the idea that someone can bake the same tasting cakes over and over again and decorate them in different ways, because there will always be people who want to eat that same flavor of cake all the time. Basically, writers can use the same tropes or concepts over and over again with different characters or whatever, because some people want to read this same plot/trope/concept over and over again. Moving that metaphor to music, we can apply it to chord progressions and melodies. Using the same chord progression isn't a bad thing, not if you do it right and make it interesting, but Taylor doesn't do that. She tends to use the same chord progressions over and over and over again to a concerning amount, and the melodies sound similar too, which is just lazy. When you really dig into it, her songs are basic and boring, which, again, as I said before, is a shame because she has really good lyrics. She's a great songwriter, but, if she wants to use the same tired chords for basically every song, then it's in her right to do so. After all, she rakes in a lot of money, so if it ain't broke, why fix it? She's a capitalist at heart and knows how to use her strengths to leverage that. And listen, if you like the way all her songs sound the same, that's fair to you. But you don't get to say that she's a great musician or that her songs are so good. Quit lying to yourself and everyone else. I would liken being a Taylor Swift fan to being a fan of those cheap romance novels. It's the same formulas with the subject characters changed just a little bit. It's not unique enough to stand out on its own. Just be honest, it's okay to like bad stuff. People like bad films and bad food combinations. It's entirely valid to like bad music as well. There's a reason why Taylor Swift is so prolific and pumps out music so much. She's not putting in as much work into the music as she could. Or maybe she can't. Maybe this is the extent of her music theory knowledge. Maybe the lyrics are the focus and the music is just a vehicle to carry that message, so she doesn't care as much about it. But wow, her fans like to put her up on a pedestal and regard her as a musical god. It's annoying and speaks to a greater issue with stan culture, deification of celebrities, and regarding famous people as perfect beings. It's embarrassing. And also I can tell some of these folks don't know any music theory, or they don't care. So am I a fan? Of course not. My favorite quote about Taylor Swift comes from Hannah Gadsby, my favorite lesbian comedian.
Now at this stage you're probably wondering, and rightly so, why would I focus on my haters? Why would I do that? That is self-indulgent, yes. And yes, I have read all of Taylor Swift's work. I am aware of the great sage of our age. I do understand that haters are just gonna hate. Hate. And she's not wrong, they are repetitive. So why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I follow her lead and just shake it off? Why wouldn't I do that? Just shake. It's one reason, that is one reason. The other reason is because I'm not convinced our friend Tay-Tay has been a victim of an actual hate crime. And I have. So naturally, the way that we deal with online hate is going to differ.
Some days I'm like, Taylor's fine. But you know she's not. She's a can of Coke. She's a product. I just resent that she's taking on the underdog narrative. That annoys me. All that, against all odds I achieved this, so you can too. And I'm wondering, what odds? I don't know what doors have ever been closed to her. I'm always very conscious of the idea that you want to support other women. And then I'm like, nah, fuck it. In my opinion, she still has a lot to answer for and a lot to make up for, especially in terms of cultural appropriation and racism in the past. Her songs are all about love drama and turbulent relationships, which I, as an aro-ace person, absolutely do not care about. Not to mention the queer baiting. No thanks. Taylor Swift is not a person I can relate to, and she does not have anything revolutionary to share, so I don't really care what she has to say. Therefore, I will not listen. The only reason why I listened to folkmore was because my friends told me to, and it sounded different from the rest of her stuff that I have heard in the past. It's more rooted in acoustic sounds with a touch of pandemic restlessness. There's also a hint of maturity, and the songs tell stories that aren't about her disastrous love life. I had fun interpreting the stories as queer ones because I could. How else would I make them palatable? As a person of color, and a queer person myself, I would prefer to listen to someone who embodies my interests more closely and makes more interesting music than putting more money into an already rich white woman's pocket. So here's a list of Asian and or queer musicians that I will recommend instead. Yeji, MXM Toon, Mamamoo, Crossed, Jaesum, Ravina, Sophia Wang, Kira Puru, Japanese Breakfast. That's all from me. You'll never see me cover Taylor Swift again, unless someone pays me a ridiculous amount of money. My Patreon is in the description. College debt and all that. I'm not above being a sellout. For my own sanity and well-being though, I will move on to more interesting music to cover. See you next video. Annyeong, quick out.